What's up, everybody? Quick tip for those doing the macro challenge or just tracking your macros in general on your own. We've talked the last couple weeks on some tips, right? So getting started, make sure you measure your food ahead of time, or always measure your food, and then always, plug your food into the MyFitnessPal before you ever eat it. So preferably the night before or the morning of. The biggest thing is, like, when in doubt, don't stress yourself. Just try to hit calories, and then when you're ready, just try to hit protein, and then the macros can come. The rest of the macros can come in after. Last week I sent a video on how to save meals. You can plug them in, you can save them, or you can make big, large meals for your family, and then you can change the serving. So I went back and showed and explained how to do that in MyFitnessPal. So make sure you go back and watch that video. Today I wanted to talk about a couple other quick tips. Is one thing that really helps when tracking your macros is to eat similar foods. Eat foods that you generally, like, that you gravitate towards, and save them into MyFitnessPal. So then it's just quick and easy. Quick and easy is the name of the game when it comes to tracking your calories. And again, it's not that you have to do this the rest of your life, but it helps you to get to your goal better than anything else. And then it helps you to reverse engineer back to your recovery level or your maintenance level without gaining the weight back. That's why it's so important for this. So, my one recommendation today for those tracking their macros is just to eat similar foods, right? Eat foods that are similar, save them into MyFitnessPal, and just keep up with those meals as best that you can, or more times than not. And then the second thing I wanted to go over is just a quick understanding of what is the different types of macros, right? So if you look at, you all should have a copy of this in your My Coach. So if you look at, these are what macros are. So proteins, carbs, and fats. That's what macronutrients are. So if you keep finding yourself getting too much fat or getting not enough carbs or whatever it is, my tip is to look at this list and say, okay, if I'm eating too many carbs or I'm not eating enough fat or whatever it is, look at this list to reference and say, okay, where is my carbs probably coming from, right? Carbs are going to come generally from potatoes, beans, breads, oats, quinoa, fruit, right? A lot of people don't think of fruit as a carb, but it is. Your fats are going to come from oils, nuts, nut butters, things like avocados, okay? There. Now also, protein has fats in it. So if you're getting too high in fat, one thing you can look at is see if you're eating some of those things I just mentioned, like nuts and things like that, or oils. But what you can also look at is, what protein are you eating? And are you eating more fatty cuts of protein? So more beef, fattier cuts of beef, or salmon, or sardines. Probably not a lot of you guys eating that, but you get the point, right? Am I eating fattier cuts of meat, or pork? Am I eating more, pork butt or bacon versus pork loin, right? And then when you look at the protein, the more leaner options, and the reason we recommend leaner options, lower calorie, higher protein, but also it allows you to then supplement with other fats and get away from that, so you can keep your macros where they need to. So chicken breast, bison, venison, turkey breast, pork tenderloin, very, very lean ground beef, white fish, egg whites, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, protein powder, and tuna are some of the best options. So, I wanted to kind of give you some tips of, if you're running into trouble hitting your macros, if you're tracking your food, what are some things that you can look at? So the couple tips from today, outside of the ones we've done the last couple weeks, are try to eat similar foods, save them in MyFitnessPal, and just upload them. The other is to make sure that you are, understanding where macros coming from. What are really carbs? What are fats? What are proteins? And in particular, proteins and fats, because they're going to be similar. Fat generally is always going to have some protein. Protein's always generally going to have fat, especially protein with fat. So if you tend to go over on fat, look at what protein sources you're eating and see if you can get some leaner cuts. So that's my tips for the macros. Drop a comment if you have any questions on that, and feel free to tag me so I see the comment.